Greetings and salutations. This is the voice of Loquacious of Herd, bringing you his afterthoughts on My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, Season 5, Episode 15, titled Rarity Investigates. I heartily suggest that you find and watch the episode itself, sans commentary, before proceeding with either this Afterthoughts review or viewing my full reaction, which is hosted at the link in the description. Be warned, this Afterthoughts review will contain spoilers for the episode. With that out of the way, a note before we move on to the review itself. This spoken herd review will be relatively brief, as there was a more extensive written herd segment produced for this episode. That written herd segment is available in Google Drive, under Details, in the Blind Reactions description. 2015's Month of Raritimber continues with Rarity - the episode. The official title is Rarity Investigates. It is the second of 3 Rarity-centered episodes. Also, if for some reason you haven't checked out the blind reactor Rarity Dash, you really ought. I enjoy his work, and if you check him out, you might too. But back to this Rarity and Rainbow Dash extravaganza. It's set in Canterlot, where Rarity is spending a bit of time getting the new fashion lines for her recently opened boutique up and running. Enter Rainbow Dash, whose association with the Wonderbolts has her attending practices, parties, and the upcoming flying show. Not as a flyer herself, of course, but as a reservist, and as the designated replacement should something happen so that one of the actual Bolts can't perform. Dashie invites Rarity on a date. Well, okay, maybe not a date, but a going along as a friend sort of invite, to the parties and pre-show rehearsals and such. Rarity accepts, and thus we get the first of many shipping fuel stops that make this affair into what I mentioned earlier is Rarity - the episode. Fan shipping is easy when the show drops hints and possibilities like this episode does. And while I'm not one to be greatly invested in such things, I do, as they say, support Equestria's shipping industry. It can be a source of silly fun and delight for large sections of the fandom. But back to the action. Mysterious events, a sudden illness in the family, wind up sending Spitfire away. Huzzah for Rainbow Dash! Not only is she in, but she'll be flying alongside one of the living legends, a retired Wonderbolt who's here for this one show. Alas, it is soon revealed that there was no illness. Spitfire was lured away on the proverbial wild goose chase. And the only culprit around with a motive for shuffling her aside would seem to be Rainbow Dash herself. So it's up to noir detective Rarity and Rainbow Dash to clear Dashie's name. Otherwise, Rainbow Dash will be drummed out of the reserves, and her dream of someday being a full-on Wonderbolt will be dead. Gotta say, I do like Soren's decisions on this one. It's clear he doesn't think Rainbow did it, but he's got to do something because this is a public matter now. There's little time and no pony else to really turn to, so by letting Dashie be the one to investigate herself, this seems like Soren's trying to find a way to clear Rainbow and uncover the real villain of the piece. Off they go, on a film noir escapade narrated by Rarity, who occasionally forgets that inner monologue shouldn't be muttered aloud. Clues and hints are gathered, along with some lovely background Easter eggs. Really, BBC's Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes, Martin Freeman as Watson, and Andrew Scott as Moriarty, all in pony form, delicious. With the real villain unmasked, and the nature of Spitfire's peculiar wild goose chase revealed, Rainbow Dash sets off to bring Spitfire back in time for the show. Success, along with punishment for the real villain and a nice reward for Dashie. Rarity seems to enjoy her role as a film noir private eye quite a lot. Kudos to her. And kudos to the show for a most enjoyable outing. Extra props for how they played around with the use of color versus black and white, mixing up the storytelling style and giving us something new and interesting. This show continues to come up with new ideas to play around with, and, as usual, I liked the end results. If you wish to see my full reaction to My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, Season 5, Episode 15, titled Rarity Investigates, the link, as I mentioned earlier, is in the description. Feel free to leave any comments or likes for that reaction here on this Afterthought review. In addition, the full text of the original written herd segment for my blind reaction to Rarity Investigates is available in Google Drive under Details in the video's description. So, until next time, as always, kindly remember, y'all are awesome. Stay awesome.